Well, hello and welcome back to Shane's Main Shop. Today we have another dryer video. This dryer is making noise and we gotta get to the bottom of it. Today is another why is my dryer making noise video. This noise is a little bit different, but the other one was those pulleys in the back, and if I find the link to that video I'll put it here in the corner. But let me just turn this one on so you can kind of hear what's going on. You hear that clicking? So when I started to inspect the situation, I can hear it's hitting back here on the side and here in a very rhythmic pattern. So it's clearly the drum's going around and something's hitting. Closer inspection came inside the dryer, and you have these three fins, tumble your clothes. I figured that the sound is coming towards the back, so I grabbed these three fins because these are screwed in from behind, and sure enough, you can see this one is loose and that one's very loose. So my guess is, I don't know 100%, but I'm 99% sure that the screw on the back side of this has backed out or something's happened, so it's long enough that it's hitting the outer casing of the dryer. The bummer is you got to pull the dryer apart to get to that so you can see it. So that's what we're going to do today. First thing we need to do is remove these screws here to get the door off, and these two screws here. That's going to allow the front to come off the top. I can't remember, it's been a bit. But once we can get access to at least the top or the side, we can access screws and hopefully get them back into position. I won't bore you with all this, but the door won't fall because it locks in too. So if you're careful, and then take this, you lift up on it, you can see the door has these little hooks right here. So they latch in. So it comes off pretty easily. Set that aside. I'm going to come over to this side, and this is so you can reverse your door, so your door can go either way. I'm going to take these off along with these little covers. But if you're not putting the door on this side, it covers up those little slots that the hinge would slide into. Once those are off, this front should come off. Pull it out like that. It just kind of has a couple little clips, and then lift up on it. Should come right off. It just catches on a couple hooks. Now that that's off, okay, so you get closer, you can see there's some bolts, and in this particular case mine is, I believe, a 5/16, so 5/16, and I have it attached to this little unit right here. I'm going to go ahead and remove those, and what it does is it removes this clip here which holds the cover down. So once you get those removed, and you got one on each side, you can see that little notch right there is what grabs the top. Now the top should lift. And you can see, of course, make sure you unplug the dryer too before you do any of this. Now what we're going to do is just turn this till we get to, and lo and behold, look at that. It's exactly what I thought it was. So those have probably slowly been turning loose over time, and now it's hitting the side and the top. So what's happened, this is loosened up, so now it's coming around and hitting the top here and hitting the sides down over here. Now this has only done this for a very short time, so it hasn't done any damage, but if you left it long enough and this kept backing out, you could really gouge in and even cause a dent in this. So I'm going to go ahead and see if it's the same size and see if I can tighten these up. It is the same size. Now I'm just going carefully and slow here because it's going into plastic, remember. Alright, that one's tight. We'll check all these. And to turn the drum, I'm just reaching and grabbing the fin and just spinning it. Look at that. There's another one that's loose. So this is the second one that's loose. And while we're right here, do not over tighten them. I'm just barely putting pressure on them. Spin it around. And this one is not loosened up at all. But we'll check it since we got it apart and give it a little bit of a turn. That one's good and tight. So there you have it. Now, upon further inspection here, I see we're going to need a new belt for this. Now I'm not going to replace it today because I don't have a belt, but we're definitely going to need a new belt for this dryer. Again, I don't know if it's caught on something or what happened, but there's really nothing for it to catch on. So yeah, you can expect a few other things while you're in here, but everything else looks like it's okay. Shouldn't hit anymore. So we're going to go ahead and close it back up. It's a relatively quick fix. To reverse that process, that, and then we're going to go ahead and do the same thing on this side. Basically, you just got to take this thing, there's a little groove up in there. You got to slip it up in and then turn it down like that. It sits in place, and then the screw goes right back in there. There you go. Top is secure. Go ahead and put the bottom back on. The bottom has just two little slots, and they slip onto these clips right down here. If you come in front, you can probably see. Once those are on, that pops back in like that. And we're going to go ahead and put these ones back on first. And all you need is a Phillips bit and that 5/16 nut driver bit for this particular project. Again, you don't want to crank these down tight. You want them snug, but don't go crazy. Because this is, yes, these are going into metal, but it is a plastic piece here you don't want to break. It's good and tight. But this could save you literally probably $100 or more. If you had to call Maytag repair person, whatever, to do this, it's going to be probably $100 minimal. Alright, so you get this dryer clipped back in place. You're going to see there's not much room there, but there is the two little slots up and down for both hinges. It does fit kind of tight, but you can get them in there. So there's the bottom one. Top one's going to be a little tricky for me here. They're both in. Now I just got to get to drop down or lock in. Just like that. It's a little tricky, but not that bad. I just got to mess it a little bit. And you're just going to go ahead and put the screws back in, both hinges. And then we're going to plug it back in, close it, and give it a test run. Yeah, just make sure your door hinges adjust. There's really not much of an adjustment there if they're in there properly, but just make sure everything's lining up. You got this little clip here, it has to line up with that, and then we're going to go ahead and test it. And as you can see, there's no more noise. So this is a relatively easy job. Let me shut it off so you can hear. Relatively easy job, but if your dryer is making noise, listen to the sound of noise it's making, because that could help determine what the problem is. This is a very steady rhythm noise, so you knew it had something to do with the drum coming around, most likely. In this case, there's actually two screws loose, and those have probably been loose for quite some time, and slowly backing their way out. And the other thing now, as you're able to see, that these are no longer loose. Check every one of them here. They're nice and solid and not wiggling. That's all. We're all in good shape, so we should be all set and ready to dry clothes again. I hope this video helped you out. Like I said, I do have another video why my dryer is making noise. It's much more in depth. I had to pull the whole drum out to make the repair. So you can look for that on my channel. If I don't have it up here in the corner or something like that, I'll put a link down in the description for that. But hopefully this helps you out, save you a little bit of money. Very easy repair. And I know of another dryer that this happened to, the same thing. The screws weren't fixed, and it actually ended up breaking the plastic off. So the screws hit so hard, it snapped the plastic, and so it caused more damage, obviously, than more costly to make that repair if you had to buy new parts for it. In this case, it was just, we caught it right when we first heard it and got it fixed. Thanks for swinging by Shane's Main Shop. Please like, subscribe, come back often for more videos. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video. Probably another repair. Who knows?